teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. So today we're going to be catching up with Foodie Beauty. There's been a couple of lives, one's been deleted. I'm using barbecue chicken's cut down of, she combined the Let's Chat live stream with another one where she was raging out at, I think it was FFG, it's usually FFG. She has now deleted that rage, so I haven't seen it firsthand. I believe actually maybe it was just saying has uploaded it, but I had the cut down for now and we'll just leave it at that. Not gonna lie, I haven't been caught up with her, not gonna lie, but most of the important stuff is here. The only thing I haven't looked at or addressed at the moment is her wearing the niqab. I don't have a huge amount to say about it really, other than the fact that I don't feel it's authentic. I don't feel any of the changes she makes are authentically for any kind of belief, you know, because of a few things that she says here, but a part that I don't believe is included in this cut down was she mentioned that she'd seen someone, was it FFG again? She usually goes with FFG, like I say, that someone had said, well, she isn't making changes, and so she was getting ready to do the react and was like, oh no, well, I'm gonna make these changes. A lot's changed in a few hours. And it's very reactionary to what other people are saying, not organically coming from any knowledge she has of the religion she claims to be following, however uniquely. She admits herself that she hasn't read the Quran, and so without the knowledge that comes with it, without the study, without the belief that she claims to have, then there's no reason for her to be putting it on. And she's explained it as, oh, my smile and my beauty is for my husband. But as far as I understand it, and I do say this, I do not follow Islam, all right? I'm not a follower of Islam. I've lived in Muslim countries, in a couple of Muslim countries now, but there are parts of it that I won't understand because it's not a part of my personal life or my personal belief systems. But as far as I can tell, the covering of the face is not intended to be for men. It's intended to be for God. And a lot of the things that happen here that she attributes to, no, I need to be modest, the way she's interpreting the reasons for those don't seem to match up with things that I've observed or been told here. And I'm trying to be very careful not to say, no, she's wrong, because in some ways I'm as ignorant as she is. So I can't definitively tell you anything particular, but I can do a little research like anybody else, and I can go on what I understand to be true. Now, on top of anything that's happened recently, we also have her attempt to cover her face while she was back in Canada, and she did it for like a day, and then she gave up on it. And when she was asked about that in chat, I don't think I have this clip, but I'll have to go check. If I do, I'll put it in here. If I don't, sorry.
I'm a completely different person today than I was yesterday. Because most people, when they go on camera, they put on an image, so that's what I was doing. But it's an image I was trying out. Like, this is what my future would be. I don't know. The bottom line is, I don't know what I want. I'm lost. I have a lot of work to do on myself. I'm bored with life. I need content. Kuwait is not a place you would... No, I don't think I would want to live there.
But she essentially said, no, I just wanted to try it on and see what my life would be like. You know? So it goes back to this idea of cosplaying, and she seems to be taking that old adage of clothes maketh the man very seriously, and in place of any kind of spiritual awareness or personal awakening or work on her inner self, she seems to think, if I put the right things on, no, look, I'm a brand new person, while vehemently denying that that's the case. But I can only go on the evidence we see, and that's what I see when she talks about this. And historically, when she's tried this before, that is what she has admitted to. So can we know, because this is Chantal's big argument, like, you can't know what's going on in my head, you can't know how I feel. You're right, I can't. I don't live in Foodie's brain, thank God. I don't live in her brain, I don't live in her heart, I don't know fully, because you can't experience someone else's belief. And as someone who doesn't have religious beliefs herself, I don't even really have a comparable frame of reference, because it's not like I believe in a Christian God either. So I can't know these things, but I can extrapolate from past events how she's reacted to those and apply it here. So while I may not be able to comfortably discuss belief and how it forms and how it shows, I can look at evidence. I do have the ability to think analytically, and I can extract from past events future events. And this, as a future event, as a path that she's on, doesn't feel like it's gonna stick. Wow, so I said I didn't have a lot to say about that. Apparently I did. So there we go. Never let it be known that I'm brief. So let's go into this one. This is Let's Chat, and it will move into the other one.
Saying, no, taking his name is not Haram because A, I'm not officially converted to Islam yet, and they don't know the conditions of our marriage, and actually that's an antiquity, and it's not Haram. There's nothing written about it, so...
Sorry, I had to let her finish that sentence. Again, I haven't read the Quran, but she admits neither has she, so I don't know how she knows, okay, there's nothing written about it. I did do a quick Google search, and I came up with this. So the same question was asked in an Islamic question and answer site, and they referenced a few different passages that seem to support not doing that. Can I tell you that no Muslim woman ever has? No, I can't. And with the fact that Chantelle is Canadian and that she has grown up in a culture where you do take your husband's last name, I'm not sure in terms of legalities, as much as I'm not sure they're even married in this case, but in terms of legalities, what would be permitted and what wouldn't be permitted. But it seems that the argument is when you take someone else's name, you're essentially erasing your own history. You're attributing yourself to a father that wasn't yours. And so you don't do that. And that's why it's a problem. So in terms of her saying it's not haram, it appears to be based on what I understand from this answer, but again, the internet is not infallible. So this is how I'm doing my research like anyone else. I do know though, the kids at school, when you look up a kid's name, it doesn't always match their parents' name. So what tends to happen is the kids usually have 4 names, and the second one, so the first middle name, tends to be the father's name. And that's how you tell, because the last names won't always match. And that's as much as I know. So when you look at the mum's name, because you're usually dealing with the mums rather than the dads, the mum's name won't match the kid's name. So it can be a little bit difficult sometimes when you're trying to put together like parents' evenings and you've got parent lists and you're like, sorry, whose mum is that? Whose dad is that? And you have to kind of like extract different parts of their name to try and figure out if you've got the right person. It's a lot of fun. So anyway, that's what I looked up on that.
You can take your husband's last name. A plus, I don't care. He can die in a ditch for all I care, honestly. I know that's not nice to say, but I don't have any sympathy for coward abuse who hate women and are disgusting, so.
I have no sympathy either, and I have no problem with her having that stance.
You're a changed woman, unblock everyone. Here's the thing, like, because I'm changed, Jason, I don't want to unblock toxic people. I don't think I'm going to be eating on camera anymore because there's no point. You can't see me eating.
It's true you can't. With the mukbang she gave, I think what's happened here, I was going to say I wouldn't bother because it's not entertaining the kind of mukbangs that she did before with the kind of audience that may have wanted it as a fetish, because she was presenting it differently because Salah was there. So I don't think it's a coincidence that she has now come into something different to generate views, because it seems like views and income have been a real problem for her recently. Maybe that as a reality is just setting it a bit more, but there's been a few attempts recently to try and generate some more views and some more interest. The return to mukbangs was one, and it doesn't seem to have worked. And she is going to talk about her change to membership tiers in a minute, in terms of pricing. And then, whoops, oh, I'm wearing a face covering again. Oh, got something to say about it? Yeah. And oh, I'm reacting to other reactors again. Oh, got something to say about it? Yeah. She seems to be making a grab for any views she can get, and what I imagine must be quite frustrating for her right now is the fact that the things that used to work for her, even when she reverts back to them, don't seem to be working for her. Interest is definitely low. And that's got to be a bit of a panic, really, when you consider how reliant she is on this income, as much as she likes to say she isn't.
I can show you food in vlogs that I do, like day in the life and stuff, but I'm not going to be doing mukbangs. So that's my point. I don't feel like Foodie Beauty anymore. I don't feel like that person anymore. So I figure, you know what? Time to make some changes on my social media as well.
Remember, she made these changes in response to an audience member saying she hasn't made changes. So this wasn't a realization she came to organically.
Nobody has a right to tell you how to integrate, like how to act, and like just because you're religious, like nobody knows, you know what I mean?
Then why are you letting them? Because this is the choice you're making.
So for people to be like, you have to delete you should delete all your old videos because they have your face. It makes more sense, like why do it on Instagram and not YouTube? It makes more sense for me, like YouTube, I have like, this is my job and that was my past, like all videos, like that's my work.
It is her work, but actually this is a valid point. I think a lot of the times points get thrown at her for the sake of doing it and they're not always valid. But in this case, either you can show your face or you can't. So if this is a choice you're making, you get to make it. But the result of that is you should be taking down the other videos.
Why am I going to delete all my work? Like 400, and plus there's like 400 and something videos.
There used to be a lot more, but she's deleted a lot of others. And yet, it doesn't matter how many videos it is. The point is you're saying your smile and your beauty and your face is for your husband and your family and other female members of whoever. It's not for the public, but you're leaving that up publicly. So those two things don't connect. You can do either, but it's one or the other.
Islam my way. Well, no, it's, yeah, duh, original. Like, do you hear yourself? Religion is for you to express your way. Instagram, I had very little...
Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, that wasn't actually a laughing matter considering that's really serious. No, it's not. Are you kidding? Oh my God. All right, so spirituality and belief. Your engagement with the idea of a higher power. Your personal beliefs internally, yeah. I would say that that's up to you to express or not express or live by or not live by. But religion is organized. Belief and spirituality and religion can intertwine but are not the same thing. Not only can people tell you what to do in religion, it is actually infamous. And wars have been fought. Persecution has been made historically for thousands of years because people have said you don't believe this correctly. Religion, if you're going to think of examples of the antithesis of flexibility, religion would be what you would come up with. Of course it can tell you what to do. There are literal books telling you what to do. If you think even within Christianity, how many different types of churches and belief systems fall under that umbrella. The idea that religion doesn't tell you what to do is just ridiculous to me. And given how resistant she is to anyone telling her what to do, it's shocking to me that religion would be the thing she'd choose. But the fact that she thinks it doesn't dictate how you should live and it doesn't tell you exactly how things are supposed to be tells me she has not researched this.
Pictures on there, so it's easier to change that, you know. So yeah, but yeah, so I updated the membership tiers because a lot of people, you know, it's just more affordable too. So, and I'm not like starving for cash or anything like that. Like,
I love how she was very, very careful to say no, it's not for the money. She wants to rebuild her audience. She did say in her community post that she wanted that because, like I said, views are down, and she's hoping that people will sign up if it's a little bit cheaper, which maybe they will, maybe they won't. Her stuff is available through reactors, but I don't understand why anybody would pay $4.99 for exactly the same content they can get at $2.99. I don't think that makes sense at all. And even her hardcore beezers, like the Holy Trinity, are now gone. So she's really going to struggle with that, I think. There's no financial reason to do that. I don't think she has that many diehard supporters anymore. I think she maybe has a few. But I did find it interesting that she called the higher tier loyal beezers, because the idea of loyalty has been a very interesting one with her. And like, if you've got the lower tier, no, you're important, you're giving me cash, but you're not loyal. If you were loyal, you would pay extra to get exactly the same. So, you know, just bear in mind that that thought process is going on.
I won't, you know what I mean? I don't even know about it, Flop. When I discard people from my life who are no more use to me, I don't follow them.
Lies, and also the use of the word discard here. Like, when you cut people off, when you separate from people in your lives, when you lose contact with them or choose not to contact them anymore, but discard, because people are disposable and consumable.
I don't hate watch people.
Yes, you do.
They're obsessed about people's lives.
Excuse me, madam. All right, tell me, when she started the Kuwait arc and she was trying to be very zen on her channel, her big downfall was the fact that with no other outlet, she started going through the comments of literally any reaction channel she could find, including mine. And I'm talking like not even just the big names in the reaction channel, famous among dozens, as much as we can call them the big names. Like the tiny reaction channels, the little ones. She was going through everything and she was raging at so many people. She hate watches everybody, and you can say a lot of things, but you cannot for a second make me believe that you do not go on and watch people you don't like, because there is so much evidence to prove that wrong.
Because why am I going to listen to somebody from the deep South, the deep US, wherever they're from? She sounds like she's from the South. Sorry. She sounds super uneducated. What? She doesn't know the first thing about living in the Middle East. She doesn't know the first thing about Islam, and she's...
Well, you don't know the first thing about Islam either. And if you're going to get technical, I have lived in the Middle East. How is that relevant? How does it matter? You still rage at me. Okay, not as frequently, but then I don't tend to engage in as much drama as a lot of people in the space, because I don't tend to form many relationships, so I'm not part of as many kind of factions as some people sometimes are. But you sit there and go, you don't live in the Middle East and you don't know Islam. Well, I do live in the Middle East and I know as much about Islam as you do. So what's your problem there? It doesn't matter what they know and what they don't know. We're actually just speculating. We're all coming from different perspectives here, and sometimes, yeah, they haven't been to the Middle East, but it doesn't make a difference to Chantelle because she rages at everyone. She has no filter with that. She doesn't look at one person and say, well, you know what you're talking about. She just gets angry.
Gonna be the critic on it? Are you kidding? Goodbye. So, oh, Chantelle. First of all, it's Chantal, you uneducated freak.
I'm sorry, are you insulting somebody's accent? I thought you were arguing later that English isn't Salah's first language when people said he sounded robotic. I thought people's accents weren't their fault. How is it going on here?
So anyways, it is flop era. No kidding. Oh no, because I have an opinion and I defend myself, I'm not a good Muslim, right? Sorry.
One of the things that I've observed I've noticed that actually more in Oman than I did in Saudi Arabia, but it's important to everyone. It's more obvious here, is that if you lose your temper, if you get angry, if you get impatient, nothing happens. Like, you don't achieve anything. It goes the other way. Like, if something's going wrong and you don't stay patient and you don't speak politely, you don't smile and you don't stay calm, you're going to get the exact opposite of what you want. You know how in some places people lose their temper and they get what they want because they're kicking up a fuss? That's not how it works here. And people will just stop you dead. In terms of, like, you'll hit a wall that you will not get through. You have to stay polite. And from what I've understood from conversations I've had, The idea in Islam is if they offer you disrespect, you offer them respect. If they're insulting to you, you rise above it. And the idea of rise above, and that you can't control what other people do, but you can control yourself, is a hugely important one. And so when she says these things, you went, oh yeah, because I insulted you, I'm a bad Muslim. I don't think it's a case of good or bad, because I don't think she's Muslim. But if you're going to get technical about it, yes, one of the aims there is to say, I will be the person Allah expects me to be, as far as I understand it. And so when you lower yourself to insulting people, you are not respecting that. So actually, yeah, it kind of makes you a bad Muslim in that way.
Well, I don't really want trolls in my chat anymore, Reginald. I'm tired of the same audience. I'm tired of trolls. I'm tired of, like, the same people just, like, bringing up drama.
I'm sure she's very tired of it, but she's not tired of money, and that's the problem she's facing right now.
I don't like trolls, A+. So you guys are free to leave, and if I don't have anybody in my chat anymore, I will just not do live streams.
That was a long pause. She doesn't have to do live streams. That's what I don't understand. Like, she doesn't have to do this. She doesn't have to do it. But it's an easier way for her to make money. She could choose the hard way. She could go out and she could go back to Canada and she could get a job. She could do English lessons under the table if she really wanted to. Like, there are other ways she could make money that would involve more effort, and she doesn't take them. And one of the reasons she's panicking is that she doesn't get the views on her vlogs anymore unless she's doing something outrageous. And even that, it's a game of diminishing returns, because there's only so much you can do before you can't top yourself anymore. And so people get bored.
Oh no, I roll with the punches. Flop is an intentional ass. A few of their questions have been reasonable, but others are always obnoxious. Yeah, like, if you are entertained by that, you're not in the right place anymore. I'm sorry.
Well, we seem to be in the right place because you've been raging.
But this is not my life anymore, like...
It's very much your life still, honey.
I just don't know. But I'm definitely not doing any more reactions because, yeah.
I'm assuming this was filmed before she raged out. I didn't get a chance to see, like, I'm not sure. I can see it was deleted in my notifications. But was this filmed after the reaction or before? Either way, it wouldn't surprise me.
That's just a waste of time and energy, most of all.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Okay, I guess this was before.
I'm tired of this whole community. Like, I want out of it. I want surround myself with different people. Like, why would you want to be with people who, like... So anyway, yeah, no, sorry.
Can I just say, again, when she did make an actual step to separate herself, and she said, no, it's only going to be videos, it's not going to be lives anymore, and I'm not doing this anymore, what she actually did was then go to reactors' channels and comment and go into chats. So when things were beginning to separate, like, there's only so much you can do before your community dies. And she's worked that last nerve, she really has. But then she keeps coming back and she keeps provoking it, because as the community dies, she realizes, oh no, I was getting something out of this, even if it was a negative impact in my life. So if you don't want it, stop holding on to it. But she can't let go. She has to have the last word. She can't let go of the hatred of the reactors. So she'll always be here.
Darcy, are you Muslim? No, so be quiet. I'm allowed to talk about what I want and defend myself. I'm not being nasty, but I'm...
She is being nasty. And also, are you Muslim? No, she's not. Are you? No, you're not.
I'm not gonna kiss butt just because I'm wearing a niqab. Sorry. My relationship is between me and God, okay?
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong, but I believe, if I'm understanding it, part of the choosing to wear a face covering, because not all Muslim women do, is to sort of shield you from evil, essentially, from evil looks, from evil things. Like, what do you do when it's all spewing from you from under the niqab? What happens then?
None of your business. Thank you. I'm just tired of apologizing or, like, feeling bad for, like, giving my opinion or defending myself on something, so too bad. Sure you are. You still, even if you are Muslim, you don't have a right to tell another Muslim what to do. At all.
How you choose to live and how you choose to be guided by your belief in God actually does play a big part. And so if you're sitting, I'm saying cussing people out, she's not actually cussing at this point, but if you're sitting throwing venom at the people you're talking to, you are not living with any kind of intent in that regard. Like you simply, however you label it, I'm going to use the word intent because I'm more comfortable with it than a religious word. But if you're going out with the intention of having any kind of God in your heart, is this the way you present yourself?
Oh, period. We forgot our selfie stick at the campsite, and we just got it. And it's very useful because, like, especially because, like, Salah's like 7'8". I loved watching you with the children last night. You look so sweet with them. You would make a wonderful mother. Thank you, movie gal. That's so sweet. So let me talk about that for a minute. Like, people are legit outraged.
Oh, this was her vlog. Spoiler alert, haven't watched the vlog. But when I watched this, I realized that she had shown some kids. Let me just let her get into it and we'll see some clips and things.
You should not have some stranger's children in your videos. Don't you know better?
Good hi. Hi. Oh, bravo. Say hi, Beezer. Good hi, Beezer.
Okay, that's all I'm going to show because the faces are covered, so I feel pretty comfortable with that.
No, I should be allowed to show cute children on my channel if I want and not have to worry about psychos doing something. Like, number one, the parents were more than fine. They're close friends, and we're very close to these people.
I just wanted her to be able to say her piece before I said mine. In terms of permission, I think it's a bit of a grey area here. Not because I don't think the parents said anything, although she's lied before, she could be lying now, they might not have checked. But I think probably, especially because Salah is from here and because social media is a bit of a sensitive thing, they probably would have at least asked. But at the same time, the problem is they're not, hey, do you mind if I take a picture or do you mind if I film? It's that there's no way the friends of theirs could have really any idea of what the community is like. Because frankly, have you ever tried explaining this community to anyone in real life? It's a lot to get down. It's a lot to really explain. And until then, until you've experienced it, it's really hard to understand. And personally, knowing as she does what things can be like, I wouldn't put other people's children on the channel just because why open them up to that? Now, one thing I do think she's absolutely right about is that people go real life way too much in this community. Like, for fuck's sake, it's the internet. And that goes both ways. It goes from her to everyone and from everyone to her. Just for the love of God, let things exist online and be that. So in terms of, yeah, I should be able to put something on channel and not worry that people are going to go horrible and do something. Actually, yes, she's right to want that to be the case, and that's how it should be. But that being said, she knows better. She knows better about her community, and there's no reason to expose children to that. And especially as even with permission, the parents can't know what exactly she's putting them out into.
So they were totally fine with it. And yeah, so I know just because I'm like defending myself or have an opinion on something and I'm not like, yes, 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 I am being disrespectful to the entire religion. Give me a break.
I didn't say you were being disrespectful to the entire religion because you spoke or had an opinion. And if Foodie just had an opinion, I've got opinions. These aren't just opinions. These are raging online. These are insulting her audience.
They don't let me do anything. They're so nice. Like, the minute they get there, they're like, here, have a blanket, have some tea. I asked them 8 times, can I help with dinner? No, no, no. You know? So I do what I can. Usually, sometimes I look after the children because they're mean to each other, boys. Like, they throw sand in each other's face and
Please don't allow Foodie to look after your kids. Please. Don't do that. Yeah? Boys are sometimes mean to each other. Like, do any of you have brothers out there? I used to torture my brother. I really did. And he used to torture me back because that's siblings for you. But you know, you kick sand in each other's face, you're friends, and then you move on and you turn on someone else. That's the beauty of friendship.
Yeah. So I know you guys can, technically my face is still out there. There's people still trying to rub my past in my face as if I'm ashamed of it. No, I'm not saying I can erase it. And people have the nerve to be like, there's things you've done that you can't come back from. What? Who are you? Like, no, that's not true. You can come back from anything.
I do actually. I don't think she will come back from anything. I do believe that people who are willing to put the work in can change. I believe that. I don't believe she's one of those people. So I think that her belief that anything can be overcome is a convenient scapegoat to not have to deal with what she's done in the past. Like, well, that was in the past. That's why she erases things, because then she can erase them mentally as well and be like, no, that never happened. No, it's in the past. It's the same as every time she started a new diet, every time she started a new goal and then gave up after a day. For those 20 minutes she was on it, she's like, well, I don't do that anymore, because once it's past, it's gone.
Most things anyway, at least things I've done. I haven't done anything that bad. Sorry. See, like, these are her uneducated, moronic viewers. Can you wipe your butt? Like what kind of question is that? Yeah, of racist people who have no life watching her. Exactly. Exactly. Sorry, that's not a flex. Her vlogging channel gets like 1,000 views per video. So that's proof that she only gets views like that because people go to Circle Jerk and they have a community of hate. Yay. You think that's gonna last forever? No.
Probably not, but they have a community.
Minute I actually get off my ass and flag you, you're gone instantly, I'm sure. I kept the $4.99 there just because.
I'm sorry, I'll just go back. This isn't gonna happen. Just dead on done, this isn't gonna happen. And she's threatened it before and she won't do it. Even if she did it, which she won't, she can't afford the legal process that goes with it.
Like, if people want to do that extra support, you're not gonna get anything extra except for a big thank you, but it's not obligatory. It's not, I'm not gonna look down on you. I'm not gonna be like, whatever, you know?
Yeah, but remember, if you do, you're loyal.
Yeah, do you guys like my new channel banner? I worked on it for like 15 minutes. This is just Salah's apartment, so it's Salah's apartment. I'm just staying here.
We did talk a little bit about the fact that she was there on a tourist visa, and in terms of the legality of her status, what she had the right to do and what she didn't, and I wasn't sure how it worked in Kuwait, and especially with her being a tourist rather than being there on a more permanent basis, it makes sense that he would have to rent. I'm not sure where he's renting because I don't know how apartment buildings, if they are segregated in Kuwait. Because I was assuming there were separate buildings for like families and couples and single women versus single men, but I could be wrong about that. But I find it convenient that he moved right as she got there. Like, what contributions did she make to this? And she hasn't done an apartment tour, so we don't know what kind of apartment it is. But it leaves a lot of questions open there, because if she's going back to Canada, yes, she can leave the country and she can get another visa and she can come back in. But she's got stuff she's got to sort out at Canada. As much as she'd love to just forget it and leave it behind and live her fantasy, she's got stuff she has to sort out. So how long would it be between her leaving and her coming back? There's a lot of questions.
For now, I mean, he had a life, like, before he met me, right? So his life is still there. I know, I just want, like, a silver play button. I know people are like, oh, it burns your butt that Charlie Gold got a silver play button before you. Yeah, because she got that based on my being a bully to me and by lying to her audience about weight while losing weight.
It's always stuck in her craw that Charlie Cole got a play button and she hasn't got one yet. But when you look at the history of their channels, how did Chantelle build hers? Like, she's the most infamous, the most attention she ever got was from putting on a pink wig, eating a cheese graveyard, while talking about people and showing pictures of people who had committed suicide in a cult. So if we're going to talk about moral high ground, I don't think anyone's got any.
I need to write a song in praise of Salah for being the opposite of a piece of than a scrub. I need a new song. I sleep less than I used to. Like, I sleep maybe 6-7 hours, maybe 6.
I think this is because she was recording in the middle of the night.
I just don't sleep as much as I used to, so I'm like, I don't know. There's 306 here. I know. I gotta go. See you around. Yeah. Good night, guys. Thanks for being here. Rat face. No. Bye.
Hi, so editing Milk here. Originally, I had to react to the other half of this video recorded when she was raging about FFG. But looking back on it now with the editing, I just don't think it's worth putting up. It's the same stuff she rages about every time. It's the same threat she always makes. They don't like each other. We've heard it before, we've seen it before, and I've just decided the video is already running quite long, and I just don't think like I brought anything revolutionary to the table with my reaction to it, so I've chosen to cut it off here. Apologies if the intro to this video was a little bit misleading. Good God. So there we are. There we are with her. If she starts reacting to other reactors again, I don't know how much of it I'm going to cover, because she does tend to say the same thing, especially if it ends up being FFG again, because she doesn't have anything new to say. FFG is mean, yes, sometimes she insults a lot. It doesn't mean all her points are wrong, but she's not kind in the way she says them. She's not obligated to be kind. But also a lot of the stuff that Chantelle says is ridiculous as well. So I'd say we're all down in the mud together, as I always do, and either stop engaging or do something about it. The choice is yours, but this is pointless. So I hope everybody's been okay. This was quite long. I do realise I didn't intend it to be. I will try and keep up with her a little better. I've got a week left of school, and then I've got a holiday coming up, which will be quite nice, and should have a bit more time, which... knock wood. I will not be sick, in knock wood, and then maybe we can talk a little bit more. All right then, I'll see you later, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.